rolling. You start us off. Wait, we're waiting until I'm situated here.
Welcome, everybody, to the 57's forecast, or possibly Flashback. We might change that name.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. We will get there, but the point is that this will be me and you sitting here talking fantasy.
In BYU, doing everything.
And this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. There is someone who might possibly be our producer / production guy. We will keep that person's name a secret for now, just in case it falls through.
We'll see.
But if it falls through, then we will let you know his name and berate him we will berate him live for that, for falling through for us. But if it works out, then we might have him pop in front of the camera real fast, say hi, let everyone know that he's our production guy.
It's just us two in a dark room.
For now.
It's just flying by the seat of our pants. We got in here 20 minutes ago, and yeah.
We're just here to have fun.
Yeah.
That's the main thing right now, right, Danny? Mm-hmm. That is the main thing. We're going to have fun.
So, first of all, let's do a little... I'd like to do a little housekeeping. That's all right. I changed the draft to Tuesday, the 5th.
Yes.
Is it the 5th? I didn't even know.
Tuesday
I go by weeks and days of the week. Changed the draft to Tuesday the 5th. It is 8:30 Mountain Time. And talked with some people. I put a vote out there for everyone, seeing the proposition was, if you miss the draft, if you auto draft specifically, you lose your first round pick. I've talked to some people and I was considering just kind of throwing it away and overturning it for one particular reason, but thankfully that kind of fell through. And so it passes on a vote for 6, 3, and 3 and 1. We have 6 votes to pass it. If you miss the draft on Tuesday, if you auto draft, you will lose your first round pick.
So what this means for me is I may or may not be drafting while I'm sitting at my desk at work, Danny.
More on that later. Probably yes. But yes, you will lose your first round pick. I'll tell you about that later. I didn't tell you about that, the exemption I was thinking. But yeah, that's official.
I'm not auto drafting.
Good.
So.
Well, that's okay.
Whether I'm sitting at work and drafting or...
No. I was going to tell you the exemption I was going to do, but that's okay.
Possible exemption.
But y'all are invited over to my place. I'll send out an email later tonight, hopefully. I am working long hours, so Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, not going to be able to do too much. But, yeah.
Tonight, as in today, is currently August 30th, 2017.
Yes.
It's a Wednesday. Just for...
Wednesday.
If you're watching this, not
Whatever.
today.
If you're watching this in 2020 for some reason.
If you're watching it in 2020, then we must have done really
this
good,
isn't the first,
and we would have been funny.
This isn't the first YouTube channel I've tried.
Really?
No. Back in high school, my brother and I, we played foosball. And
as a YouTube channel?
As a YouTube channel. We propped up my the laptop I had and filmed like a top-down perspective of the foosball table, and we just bantered. Used nothing. The
just the webcam.
Just the webcam and the microphone on there. We called it the FBBL, the Foosball Battle League. So
how many viewers did you have?
Like 2.
Like your mom and dad?
Yeah, it's still up there somewhere, I'm sure. I'll show that to you.
I would love to find this.
This is a lot better quality. We'll see if it works.
We'll see.
But the thing is, I sometimes go back and check that out. Yeah.
I like
it.
The
FBBL, the Foosball Battle League.
I like it.
Yeah, I lost every game against my brother.
Older or younger brother?
Younger brother, Joey.
Yeah. Joey.
Yeah.
All
They're
right.
in town again. So.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, let's get to football.
So, any other housekeeping you'd like to do for the week? All right.
Not right now. Other than the draft is, of course, a redraft. No keepers. So, you lost all your guys. That's the way it is. I got the number 1 pick because I came in last season. I sucked.
This is true.
Yeah. But I've renamed my team the Comeback Kids, and we will indeed come back.
As per my usual, I have renamed my team Sean's Strikers because that's what I always name my team for the draft. As you may have noticed last year, I will change my name every week, depending on what your name is.
I change my name every week, but not necessarily today. Sorry about that.
I change mine based on matchup.
You should just name yours Sean Supervisors now.
Sean Supervisors.
I'm a supervisor at my new job too, so
nice.
That's why I
the 57's supervisors, flashbacks or forecasts,
something like that. Anyway, so
all right,
where do you want to start?
So today we are going to cover three separate topics.
Okay.
3 macro topics, and we'll kind of get into a couple of them. We'll get into a couple of little subtopics under that. But our 3 topics for today: basic draft strategies. Just some basic things that you want to make sure that you're doing during the draft.
Okay. For those of you who are auto drafting,
that is the number one thing that you don't do. Do not auto draft.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons, and we'll get into those when we hit number 2, which is players who are injured or suspended. The draft does not always recalculate in time for players who have been injured and are out for the season.
Not always in time. Yeah.
From what I've seen, it's mostly updated from last weekend's mayhem in the NFL. But that may not prove true from the mayhem that is possible to happen this week into the day that we draft.
Yeah. So that's why we draft late.
Yes.
You could have the most accurate picture. I wanted to draft on Saturday, but because of my work schedule and I'm the commissioner, I could change it. So I could change it to fit my schedule. Sorry if it doesn't fit the rest of yours. You'll have to find someone to draft for you probably.
I am now actually the commissioner in 2 separate leagues.
See, I can only do one.
It's going to be fun.
And I like this one the best. So.
Yes, this is one of my favorite leagues. See, I have to say that because my wife is in the other league. And so if I say that the league, not with her, I might get in trouble.
And that
so I will say this is one of my 3 favorite leagues.
Aren't you in 3? Yep.
So like I said, the second thing that we'll get into, players who are injured and suspended. And then the last thing that we'll do, we're going to run down who we think are the first round guys. Which players we think this year are good enough to spend a first round pick on. So that list might be a little longer than 10 because consider personal preference. Like, I don't know. There might be someone who thinks Gronk is a first round pick. I don't think so. But someone might. And so personal preference, of course, my list is 13 different guys. I have 10 who are my first round guys, and then I have 3 are guys who, if you take them in the first round, I'm not going to call you an idiot and berate you or something like that. Yeah. They're guys that are right there on the bubble, but we'll get to that later. So, first thing, basic draft strategies. What you got, Dan?
People pick up quarterbacks and defenses, and who cares about kickers? But people pick up quarterbacks and defenses way early, like picking them up for your second overall pick. Guys, defenses are almost interchangeable unless you have like the Seahawks or the Broncos or the Patriots. Even they're all basically interchangeable, like tight ends. Unless you get some of those higher ends, the rest of them are fine. You can even stream them. Stream them is a term to like just pick them up off of waivers every single week.
That's basically my strategy. So you will never see me pick a defense or kicker before the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
And quarterbacks, it is so deep right now. If you let me open my quarterback rankings here. Just looking at last year. Actually, these are the projections for this year. You've got number 1, A-Rod. 2, Tom Brady. 3, Drew Brees. 4, Matt Ryan. 5, Russell Wilson. Cam, Stafford, Jameis Winston, Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, who finished 4th overall last year, mind you.
Kirk Cousins has had something like, in the past 4 years, has finished in the top 5 pretty much every year.
Yeah, he's so because he's not a sexy name,
right? He's not.
Yeah,
I'm drafting Kirk Cousins. No one's gonna go. Ooh.
Yeah, no one's gonna be. It's you
but
like
that.
But
if you say I got Tom Brady, people are gonna go, oh no way.
But you go all the way down. The serviceable quarterbacks go all the way down to 17 at Phillip Rivers.
So here's something interesting.
And these are the projections this year. That's all. The projections, how they're projected to do. Like 14 is Ben Roethlisberger projected to finish at 14. 13 is Derek Carr.
Derek Carr's he's gonna do well.
Yeah.
So here's something interesting for you, Danny. I crunched some numbers earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the difference was between the first place quarterback and the 10th place quarterback? So realistically, the 10 quarterbacks who would be drafted, assuming everyone drafts
your starter.
a single quarterback.
Your starter.
Your starting quarterback. Do you know what the difference was on a points per game basis? Because I cannot stress enough, fantasy is a weekly thing.
Yep.
You want points per game. Total points in the year are great. I don't care overall about that. I want to know I want good points this week.
Because as you know, you could score 110 points but still lose to someone who scores 112. Right. Where 110 points could beat everyone else in the league. It's a weekly game. Yeah.
Right. Fantasy is a weekly game. So on a points per game basis, the difference between the number 1 quarterback and the number 10 quarterback. 7.6. 7.6. That's not a huge difference.
That's not a huge difference. No.
So here's the better one. Do you want to know who the 1 and 10 guys were?
Who?
Just off of your guess, who would you say was number 1?
One was
points
A-Rod.
per game.
Points per game?
Points per game. Not total points. Points per game.
A-Rod?
A-Rod at 24.9 points per game last year. Take a guess who number 10 was.
Is it Kirk Cousins?
No. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady at 10?
Tom Brady at 10 at 17.3. Tom Brady is currently in most ESPN drafts going in the 3rd round.
Third round
This year.
Guys, Tom Brady is very sexy as both a quarterback and a person. But I mean, come on. 3rd round.
I don't mind. Do you know where Andrew Luck is currently going?
Where?
In the 11th round.
11th round?
Andrew Luck is going in the 11th round.
Well, he's also injured.
True. We will get to him when we talk about injuries. So we'll put a pin in that.
Yeah.
But he is injured, so that's why he's falling. Kirk Cousins, though, not going much earlier than Andrew Luck. He's going in like the 9th round. And he was the number 4 quarterback in fantasy last year.
See, and this happens every year. I'm like, I'm hyping up for the draft and everything. I'm like, these morons. I'm gonna pick these people, and I'm gonna have a stacked draft. It's gonna be awesome. But then I get in and realize that all the other people in the 57's league are just as smart as me too. So, and so they pick just
one thing that I will always suggest: do a few mock drafts.
Yeah,
get an idea of who, even if you just do one, do a mock draft that's standard. We are a standard 10-team league.
Not
For those
PPR.
of you who don't know, we are not PPR.
Mm-hmm. Take a look at the settings for scoring if you're confused. Standard this year, actually, I don't know if you knew it, but they've made standard decimal scoring. Everything's decimal scoring on ESPN now,
including PPR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Everything's decimal scoring. So we're ahead of the curve on that. Anyway, go ahead.
For those of you who don't know the difference, PPR is points per reception. It means you get a point if you catch the ball. You just automatically get a point.
Well, points.
Yeah, points.
You get something.
You get
some people make a half a point per reception. Some people make it 1.
Just catching the
some
ball
morons
gives you
make
points.
it 2.
But for us, we do a decimal. If you need more information on that,
you guys know what decimal scoring is. But
if you want to know exactly how it breaks down, go to the league settings.
Yeah.
So, but there you go. That's how it shook down last year for the quarterbacks.
That's crazy.
Do you want to know what it was for defenses?
Between 1 and 10?
Between 1 and 10.
Points per game?
Points per game.
Let's say 6.
3.
3? Points per game between 1 and 10?
Points per game between 1 and 10 on defenses was 3.
If you pick a defense before round 13 or 14, whatever the second last one, I will laugh at you. I will call you up and laugh if I have your number. A couple of you I don't have your. I will call you up and laugh at you. I'll do it.
So interestingly, Danny, you were talking about like maybe the Broncos or the Seahawks or the Patriots.
Yeah.
None of those were the number 1 defense last year.
Number 1 defense, I'm not sure. What was
Vikings.
It? Vikings. Yeah.
Broncos came in at number 2.
Purple people eaters.
Broncos came in at number 2. The Patriots clocked in at 7, and the Seahawks clocked in at 9 at 111 total points. The Broncos 8.6 points per game. 8.6 points per game. The Patriots 7.3 points per game, and the Seahawks 6.9 points per game. The 3 of those that are basically top, middle, and bottom of the top 10
Not a huge
almost
difference.
interchangeable.
Not a huge difference. Well, there you have
Wait
it.
on your defense.
Wait on it.
I'm not even going to get into kickers because just get them last.
Get them last. It really doesn't matter if he gets Gostowski or Matt Bryant or what's his name, the Ravens kicker.
The Ravens kicker.
Justin Tucker.
Justin
I
Tucker.
think his name.
Justin Tucker.
Who I think had only missed like one kick all year. It's great.
He did.
That they're fine. They're good like that. But I mean, come on, guys. Anyway, but don't listen to me. I came in last. So
I did slightly better at 5th, but still, although he does say last, he did win another league last year. He was the champion. So
amateurs. Got it.
It's true. It was you, me, and Andrew pretty much that had done it before.
I don't know what I did different, but
you got lucky.
Probably.
You got really.
There's a lot of luck involved in this, of course. But
so basically, what we're saying is take your running backs and your wide receivers first.
Yeah, and grab a tight. Actually, you don't need a tight end.
Not in this league.
Not in this league. You don't need one. It's okay if you get someone like Gronk or
Jordan Reed.
Jordan Reed.
Jordan Reed's coming in at a steal right now.
That's true. Yeah.
Because again, injury. Because of his foot injury. In the last 2 years, he's actually scored more points per game than Gronk.
Jordan Reed?
Mm-hmm. On a points per game, he has been the number 1 tight end for the past 2 years.
And who's his quarterback?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. That's true.
Yep.
That's something that I like to look at is who they're throwing to. Ooh. I just pulled up projections for this year. Number one, guess who's the player projected to finish with the most number one? Who's projected to finish number 1 overall?
Overall?
Yeah.
David Johnson.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tight ends.
Tight ends. Projected. Maybe Jordan Reed.
No. He's 4.
Jordan Reed is 4.
Jordan Reed's 4. Greg Olsen. Number 1.
Really?
Gronk is 2. Travis Kelce 3. Jordan Reed 4. And I'd say if you don't get any of those 4, even Jimmy Graham. Wait.
Yep.
I mean, treat Jimmy Graham as though he has any kind of in our league. You don't need a tight end,
right? You plug a tight end in as a flex, and generally speaking, wide receivers will get you more points than a tight end.
Yeah.
In our league, we don't need a tight end, so I mean,
but I won't complain if I get Rob Gronkowski.
Amen to that.
I've never had him. I probably never will, but yeah.
It's because in this league I'll be paying for my wide receivers first.
Can we tie the bow on tight ends because we just don't even need them anymore?
Yep.
So
done. All right. Anything else you'd like to say about basic draft strategies?
Do it. It's a lot funner. There's when you're drafting, there's a chat room. Use it. Let's use it. At my house, you'll be coming over. I think Bobby will be coming over. He said he will. Pretty much anyone, and Bischoff. There's one more. You won't be coming over. Sorry, but Andrew, if you're watching,
don't know. We'll try.
8:30. Andrew, that's why I'm having it at 8:30 because Andrew's rolling in. He's staying with us.
Andrew.
That's why. So he's coming in. So it's gonna be like 4 of us there. I still need to talk to a couple other people, see if they're in town even. But people who are out of town. CP, he's in Michigan. Dadgum. Kyle, he's out of town. So is Brad. But most everyone's out of town. We've spread out since being 57's.
By the way, Brad, if you're watching this, we hope your family's okay.
I don't. I'm just kidding. I do.
Dude, Brad's from Houston.
I know. I know that.
I don't feel bad for the Texans.
No.
But
yeah.
But everyone else in Houston.
I'll tell you more about that later.
All right.
Like the hurricane and how it affected me.
Oh.
In my job. But anyway, so what's next?
Next, Skippy? Players who are injured or suspended, and how that can affect you right now. Especially, so this is looking at a draft and looking in the week what you should do if you have a player who's suspended.
So I saw something across my breaking news this morning on Facebook. It was NFL meme said, Ezekiel Elliott, no longer suspended. And I double checked. Of course, there was nothing else on that.
That's
so
definitely not true.
It wasn't true. I always double check news I see on Facebook. But he could still come. He could still be actually. Yeah, he could still be unsuspended by the time draft comes around. And
it's true. I say that it's unlikely because his suspension hearing was so arduous that they had to extend it into a second day. So usually suspension hearings are just a single day, and then it takes 4 or 5 days of the guy who hears the hearing to make a decision. They're looking at so much stuff with Zeke. It's a second day of hearing that lasted today, and then 4 or 5 days on top of that. He will probably. I would, if I were to say right now, if I thought he would be suspended still when we draft, I'd say he's still suspended at 6 games when we draft, with the possibility of overturning.
But what are you supposed to do? You know, we're drafting 2 days before the first game,
right?
You know, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
I don't think that his suspension will be waived. I don't even think the Cowboys will take it to court. I don't think the Cowboys will push it like the Patriots did with Tom Brady. I don't think they're going to push it. At most, I think his suspension will be reduced. I don't think it'll be a 6-game suspension.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a 4-game suspension.
What's he going at right now? I don't know. I don't have ADPs up.
He's currently going in the 3rd round, on average.
I think even if you get him in the 3rd round right now, that's a bit of a steal.
So essentially, you are missing him for 7 weeks of fantasy if he is suspended for 6, because every team has a bye week.
Yeah.
So you have
which is more than half the season.
Right. You're looking at
because the fantasy season is 13 weeks.
But here is where Zeke,
the regular season.
Here's where I would be willing to spend one of those first rounds. Let's see. Let's go up here.
Personally, I don't think he should. I hate the Cowboys as much as the normal American.
Right.
I don't think he should have been suspended at all. Someone's innocent until proven guilty, and had nothing on him, in my opinion. Yeah. But that's neither here nor there.
However, we're not sure why he was being. The NFL does not say what everything he was being suspended for. Yeah, he's had a few character questions. Right, he's had a few character questions since coming into the league. He's had a couple different incidences where they have a little bit of worry, and so it's possible that he is being suspended for that as well. But the league doesn't have to say.
Yeah,
that's the thing. As far as running backs, he's currently still ranked to be the number 2 running back at 314.
Projected
for the 2016 season.
What projections are you looking at?
The ESPN.
I'm seeing 19.
19?
I'm looking at ESPN Sortable 2017 projections.
See, I'm looking on. If you go on to our league's projections for points, I'm not sure if that's taking into account his suspension.
Well, I see this taken in account in suspension. I see 19 right behind Dalvin Cook, Minnesota.
Right. How many points is it saying?
I'm seeing 190.
Okay, yeah. See, I don't think this is taking into account.
I think it's just, yeah.
But
that must not be.
It must not.
Yeah.
Because it's saying 314.
Yeah.
But again, looking at his points per game, I will still believe this at 19.7. And as I was saying earlier, here's why I'm willing to spend that 3rd round pick on him. Playoffs. Zeke will be back for the fantasy playoffs.
That's true.
And 19.7 points per game in the fantasy playoffs, that's a difference between a win and a loss.
That's true.
19 points.
There are always a couple players that emerge and win people playoffs. Colin Kaepernick last year won people to their playoffs. Colin Kaepernick.
A man currently not employed by the NFL.
That's neither here nor there. But
just had to make sure I...
Yeah.
Right, Jordan?
So... oh, man. We need a laugh track on this.
Yes, we do.
But, yeah. Him being suspended, changed my trilemma for what I was going to do with my number 1 pick. Is that I'm definitely not picking Zeke. No. That would be ill-advised. Anyone picking Zeke number 1 overall, they're stupid.
I don't see Zeke as worthy of a first-round pick, period.
Yeah.
I'd be okay if you went second-round pick with him. I don't think... Right. Like, late second round, I personally won't do it.
I would take him in the third.
But if there were people who were going to do it, more power to them.
Yeah, yeah. But if you're picking number 1 overall, the difference between your second and third round pick is 1 pick. Yeah. So
that's true.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
exactly.
I don't know.
When you're picking sixth, you're picking middle of the pack.
Yeah, round. I wish I had that, but
on the one hand, it's nice. On the other hand,
yeah.
On the other hand, you are left with, like, at 6, you have the Power 5 that go, and you get the leftovers of the Power 5 in the first round. But we'll get back to those.
Add a tab about injury lookout.
Yes.
Running backs, Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell, his injury, he's looking good. The trainer that he trained with in the offseason says that he's looking pretty good. And he's Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
He's going to roll out of bed. He's going to have a fantastic game.
He's going to get you 20-plus points.
He's going to get you 20-plus points.
Every week.
Le'Veon Bell, I'm not that worried about his injury distinction. I'm not that worried about the fact that he held out. Which, technically, not a holdout because he hadn't signed a contract. He was just expressing displeasure with the contract he was offered.
Yeah.
Basically saying, give me more money next year. But I'm not worried. He has said that he will be back on Friday. That's what he said. We'll see on Friday if that's what happens.
Ever since it happened, everything has been speculation, kind of people going crazy over the Patriots since Julian Edelman got injured.
Right.
Like, in your opinion, whose stock goes up the most on the Patriots with that injury? He caught, just before you answer, he caught the most passes of any wide receiver, and any Patriot.
That's true.
He got, like, I think over 40% of the passes.
33% of Tom Brady's targets.
Yeah. And now those targets are up for grabs.
Personally, I think, for me, Gronk, especially in the red zone, because Julian Edelman is mostly used as a short yardage guy. So down in the red zone, Gronk is a tower and great to just toss it up to him.
Yeah.
But there's one other guy. So for Gronk, I like Gronk because he's Gronk.
Makes it happen.
Right. When you think Tom Brady's white, when you think people catching passes from Tom Brady, the first 2 names that come to mind are Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski.
In no specific order.
Specific order, right. And so if one of those guys is gone, you automatically think that the other guy would be the security blanket.
Yeah.
Would be that guy. If Tom Brady's not sure what's going to happen, he's the guy that Tom Brady has the most trust in. So his stock goes up for that. But as far as, like, who will get the most fantasy points because Julian Edelman is gone, I like Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Brandon Cooks.
Breaking news: Brandon Cooks is a good wide receiver.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Chris Hogan, yeah, Malcolm Mitchell, they'll see a slight increase, but I think the majority of the targets that are now up for grabs in New England will go probably first to Brandon Cooks, but those that are more questionable, those that are needed more, those targets that Tom Brady that he needs to make it happen, those are going to go to Gronk. Short yardage touchdown situations, short yardage getting that first down, and I like Gronk for yards after the catch over Cooks.
Yeah,
but Cooks has some wheels.
Yeah,
he's going to be a deep threat for the Patriots that Tom Brady hasn't had in years.
And he knows ever since Randy Moss.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, he's going to be the Randy Moss this year.
He hasn't had a receiver of Brandon Cook's caliber since Randy Moss.
Yeah.
And with what they do. And we saw what he did when he played with Randy Moss.
Yeah. Choked in the Super Bowl is what they did.
That's right. Giants.
I know all about choking in the Super Bowl. I'm wearing a Seahawks jersey.
Why don't you give it to him?
But right now, Brandon Cooks is projected at 10. I'm not sure if that's been adjusted ever since then. I pulled these up today. Actually, right behind Doug Baldwin.
He's going right behind Dougie.
I would take Brandon Cooks above Dougie, above T.Y. Hilton,
above
Michael Thomas. These are people that I'm going up the list. 7 is Michael Thomas. I take him above Mike Evans, but then you hit this Mendoza line of Jordy Nelson, AJ Green, OBJ, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown. Those three up there: Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, OBJ. Leave them; they're good. But then you start hitting, Jordy Nelson and AJ Green,
right?
I would take him above them. I love Doug Baldwin. I think he's one of the most underrated,
right? Of course,
in the NFL, underrated fantasy players.
Dougie is fantastic,
but I would take Brandon Cooks right now above Doug.
For fantasy value, definitely. I would definitely take him above Dougie for pure fantasy value.
Yeah.
Dougie projected at 10.5 points per game, by the way.
Where are you seeing that? That's all right.
According to our scoring. So these rankings that I'm saying,
I should probably look at
by the
those.
way, are our specific league, because we go in, we do a couple of things different than just if you were to just go on to ESPN, create a league, standard scoring. We have a couple of
I should probably be looking at that.
And so that's what Doug Baldwin's looking at. So Patriots pass catcher who's going to see the biggest boon in a terrible injury for Julian Edelman. Hope he recovers. I mean, I don't like the Patriots, but you hate to see any player get hurt that bad.
Oh yeah, because that's their livelihood. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
And so player who will get the biggest boon, Brandon Cooks. Have to say, Patriots do like dumping it off to running backs. They used him in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady likes those dink and dunks to his running backs. They'll see an uptick, but I say it's the same as Malcolm Mitchell and Chris Hogan. Slight increase.
Oh yeah, everyone gets a piece.
Right, everyone gets a piece.
Everyone gets a piece. Who gets the biggest piece?
Yep. I say Brandon Cooks gets the biggest piece.
Well, what say we do a mock first round?
A mock first round?
Yeah, like let's say let's just go you and me.
Just you and me.
How about that?
All right.
I won't go first because I'll kind of reveal who I would be taking first.
Right.
You go first.
I'll go first.
Let me see here. Let me pull up in my things here. I don't even know where to begin with that. Here we go. Got it. Okay.
Just going to pull up running backs and wide receivers because that's all I'm going to be taking in this first round. But before we do this, I do want to say two other players had significant injuries this weekend.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No. I just remembered by looking at this. Two other players had significant injuries. Cameron Meredith, his knee was shattered by a hit to the knee.
Why haven't I heard of this?
Yeah, Cameron Meredith tore his ACL, and they're worried that there's significant other internal.
I probably heard of this, but I probably forgot because I'm dumb.
So, I think that the person who benefits most from that is Jordan Howard, because the drop off from Cameron Meredith, the drop off from Cameron Meredith to Kevin White or Wright, I forget his first name. See, that's how
forgettable the Bears
That's how forgettable the Bears are.
Yeah, I've never mind. I've heard of this.
So Jordan Howard, I say best, who's going to get the most off of that, and then the person that I think then Spencer Ware also was injured.
Oh yeah.
And for Spencer Ware,
a rookie.
That's right. A rookie steps in for Spencer Ware. That is not what I wanted. I want KC. That means that Kareem Hunt will be the guy that steps in. Charkandrick West, he's still there, but the few chances he got last year,
I think he'll get 40% of them.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a 60-40 split.
I say that Kareem Hunt will be the most useful for that team.
Yeah.
Seeing as Spencer Ware is now gone. Also remember Doug Martin is suspended, which means Jacquizz Rodgers will get the start. So good startable running back for 2 weeks. And the Buccaneers have said, depending on how Jacquizz Rodgers does, the starting job might not be waiting for Doug Martin when he gets back.
That's true. Look what happened to the Vikings with their quarterback. I mean, I know it's different position, but nothing's guaranteed.
Yep, nothing's guaranteed.
Everyone has to fight for their starting job.
Look what happened to Tony Romo.
Who?
Exactly. He got better from his injury, and they still didn't take Dak Prescott out.
Oh,
That's how good Dak was doing last year. Just because you come back doesn't mean... I mean, there are guys... Ezekiel Elliott, when he comes back, Darren McFadden will no longer be the starter.
No. Depending. Well...
Most
you could put that caveat on everything.
That's true.
What if Darren McFadden, explodes?
That's true.
Will he have a job when he gets back? That's the thing.
That's true.
There's always this what if.
There's always the what if.
I mean, given his history, probably not.
Right.
But never count someone out.
Never count him out. Like we mentioned earlier when we were talking about strategies and quarterbacks, Andrew Luck, his shoulder still injured, and the Colts have still said... We don't know,
update. No update. Yeah.
No update.
Taking it week by week.
Taking it week by week. So if you decide to draft Andrew Luck, maybe draft a second quarterback.
Soon after.
Maybe
take Andrew Luck earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do something, or look for quarterbacks, or start looking at that waiver wire. See who could use, because Andrew Luck might not be there week 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. I'd sooner get your... If you draft Andrew Luck, I would say draft another quarterback.
Yep.
Get someone else.
Draft someone else.
Draft someone else. Don't look for someone, don't look for sloppy seconds after... Ooh, that's probably bad. Don't look on the waiver wire, week 1. You're not going to find someone.
Yeah.
You're not going to find... Draft someone.
You won't find someone you're comfortable with.
Yeah. That's your best chance in getting someone.
Right.
Someone you're comfortable with. So, why don't you go over that list right there instead? The top 10. So let's go over that.
So So the guys who are currently going top 10, or the guys who I think are top 10 guys.
Let's compare it. Who's current? Dadgum, I thought I was so prepared. I have like 20 tabs open, but I'm just so not prepared.
Well, it's because as you're talking, something else jumps into your head.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked up several different things while we've been sitting
Internet.
here. So, gotta love the internet.
Yep. That's my new job, by the way.
Internet.
Yeah. Well.
Making sure people have their internet.
Making sure people have their internet. Quick 30 seconds. That's one thing, is that there was this internet service provider located in Corpus Christi.
Ooh.
Yeah. They went down and hard. They evacuated everyone,
I believe
basically,
that.
and all their customers. We had one guy said there was no hurricane. The such and such company, I'm not going to say their name, is just being lazy. Yeah, I know. Talking to a real raisin cake there.
I would say to that man, if he lives in Corpus Christi, go ahead and step outside.
Corpus Christi.
Corpus Christi. I don't think any corpse were crispy.
Get you. Oh, dude, too soon.
I was making a fire joke. Mm-hmm. They have not had problems with fire. If anything, we can be grateful that they have not had problems with fire.
That's looking.
Moving on.
That's looking at the house half full.
Moving on.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on. So, do you have a list of guys who are currently going top 10?
I've got fantasypros.com ADP overall. This is looking at a lot of different things.
All right.
CBS, NFL, a lot of things.
So, not in any particular order. I'm not going to go any particular order because I also don't want to tip my hand on a guy that I'd be looking for.
Who do you got, 6? You got 6?
I got 6.
That's right. You just missed the playoffs. Darn.
Yep.
That's all right.
Yep. That's okay.
I really missed the playoffs.
Yes, you did, at 10. So, the guys who I believe are top 10 are worthy of top 10. And so here's what I'll do. I will say the wide receivers first that I think are top 10 worthy guys, then the running backs. Again, no particular order. Okay. This is just the order I happen to write them down. And I'll do it this way because running backs, I know right now David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell currently have 1-2 on ADP.
Yeah.
So
in that order too.
Yeah. I may or may not have done a mock draft today, actually.
Yeah.
So, wide receivers, again, no particular order of guys who I think are worthy of a first-round pick. Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Julio Jones.
I considered him number 1. I will let you know I'm not taking him number 1. So.
OBJ. Even with the injury on him, I still say he's worthy of a number 1 pick because he's Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah. Period.
End of sentence.
Yeah.
That is all.
Even if he played 12 games.
Right.
I think he's still worthy of a number 1 pick. Maybe a little later in the number 1, but number 1.
Right. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Mike Evans, Tampa Bay. I say that he's worthy of a number 1 pick, of not the number 1 pick, but of a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Open up here.
You just got running backs and wide receivers, basically. Because that's how you want to draft.
Right. In round 1, you want running backs and wide receivers.
Running back or wide receiver. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want a running back or a wide receiver in round 1.
Mm-hmm.
I am usually, if I'm picking in the top 5, I'm taking the best guy available.
Yeah.
So basically at 6, I'm doing the same thing. Unless, for some reason, some random guys went, and I might do something different. But in our league, in the 57's league last year, Mike Evans was the number 2 wide receiver. In PPR scoring across ESPN, he was the number 1 in PPR. So then, rounding out the last 2,
and I just think the Buccaneers are going to skyrocket this year, too.
I think the Buccaneers.
I think his.
I'm a Buccaneer believer.
You could take as far as for fantasy goes.
Yes.
To be honest.
Yes.
I mean, heck, they beat our Seahawks last year. So.
Yep.
But I think that you could take what they did last year, the Buccaneers, and just add a little more. Add a couple more. They just barely missed the playoffs.
Jameis Winston has done good. No. They got rid of their terrible kicker. Oh, it's 5:30.
It is 5:30.
They got rid of their terrible kicker.
Yeah, guys, we may just have to cut this short. We'll see what's going on.
And we're back. We've got 5 minutes basically.
Maybe.
We have to wrap this up. So I'll just run down this really fast, and then we'll quickly do our picks. So
we could just forego that. Let's just go. For this.
Let's go top 4. Who would you take? If I pick 1, then you pick 2, then I pick 3.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. So rounding out the wide receivers, I have AJ Green and Jordy Nelson.
Yeah,
I would be okay with either of those guys in the first round. Jordy Nelson, by the way, was the number 1 wide receiver in our league last year. As far as running backs go, LaShawn McCoy is worthy of a first-round pick. For those of you who don't know, the Bills no longer have Sammy Watkins.
He's a Ram.
He is now a Ram. This means things will be better for LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah. Doesn't have a timeshare.
Right. Devontae Freeman, because he is currently, until Le'Veon Bell signs his deal, Devontae Freeman is the highest paid running back in the NFL ever.
Deservedly. Mm-hmm.
Deservedly so. And then, of course, David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell.
Thought I heard knocking again. Yeah.
May I have your attention? It is now 5:35. All library services close in 10 minutes.
We gotta get going.
If you have any items to check out, please bring them to the circulation desk immediately. Thank you.
I just remembered. I gotta transfer that. We gotta get going.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're wrapping up. We're cutting it. We're cutting it short. Have a good one.
Next one, we'll have more time.
Yep.